Colleague, Mr. Jordan.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I think he made the right point. And I would just respond to to our colleague from New York. You know who knew the laptop was real was the FBI. They had it for, or maybe they had it for a year and just said, you know what, we're going to put it on the shelf, we're not going to look at it. But if anyone knew it was real, it's them. That's why I asked the question, again, back to my colleague from New York, what he was talking about. That's why I asked the question earlier. I said, did anyone at the FBI or Mr. Baker know, did Mr. Baker talk to any of those 51 former intel officials who sent the letters saying this has all the classic earmarks of a Russian misinformation operation? Maybe they could have checked with the FBI because the FBI had the actual laptop in their possession. So I appreciate the gentleman from Louisiana. I think it's a great point that he made. Mr. Roth, I'm going to come back to you on something we were at a few hours ago. And we're talking about this visibility filtering, which in my mind I understand to be something short of suspending and blocking the account, which the user then knows has happened because there's a notification in a public way, like you did to Ms. Green when you suspended her account. But there's other things, this search blacklist, this do not amplify, that are some kind of filtering that account that the user doesn't know about. And I asked the question earlier, was there any bit of this visibility filtering that was hard-coded by Twitter employees into the account of specific users? And you said, you hesitated for a while, and you said, well, you wouldn't use the term hard-coded, but it seemed to me like something like that went on. Can you elaborate?
Thank you for the question. Twitter's visibility filtering system, as has been reported in the Twitter files, is based on applying labels to user accounts. And so in that sense, if the application of a label is what you meant by hard-coded, yes, Twitter systems did apply those designations to those accounts. But it was seldom the case that Twitter staff would manually, individually go in and apply those labels directly.
Were any government officials, were those labels and therefore that filtering done to any government officials, any elected officials where the user wouldn't know about?
I don't know, sir. I didn't have access to my Twitter computer, to any Twitter systems to prepare me to answer that question. So
I'm just talking your time there and your experience there. Do you know if that happened?
It would not surprise me to know that visibility filtering labels had been applied to the accounts of elected officials.
So visibility filtered labels applied to the accounts, but the user doesn't know.
Yes, it was not Twitter's practice to notify users.
But you think that happened to elected officials and government officials?
Again, I couldn't say for sure.
I appreciate it. I yield back.
Chair recognizes Mr. Mfume for 5 minutes.
Well, Mr. Chairman,